Okay, time for the Y-axis assembly. I did a little bit of prep. I took these threaded lock knob things and hammered them all in already. I didn't think you wanted me to sit here and bang them all in while on video. So they only fit into the one hole, nice and snug. You just push them in and then just hammer them down. So we have that. You're going to need this little plate. You're going to need a few of these M5 flat washers from the previous video. You're going to need these M6 by 2.5 machine screws. You're going to need some M6 lock washers. You're going to need some wood screws here, the number 10 5/8, and some more washers, some M6 flat washers. So we're going to start out taking this little plate. Okay, no, we're going to start out by taking a couple of screws, a couple of the M6 by 25s. We're going to take an M6 flat washer, not the lock washer. We're going to take the, oops, upside down, the flat washers. We're going to need 2 of those. Put them right on your screw. Alright. You're going to put it through the center holes. They don't fit in the other hole. They only fit through these, so you really can't put them on wrong. And you're going to take 2 of the lock washers, 1 on each. And I forgot to mention a part that you need, sorry. We also need the M6 hex nut. So you take 2 of those, 1 for each. And just screw it on. Now in the previous video, my build frame was a little cockeyed. Well, I did manage to fix that. I just had to loosen up the wood screws just a little bit, or the self-tapping screws a little bit, push it down flat, and then retighten them. So, just like that. Nothing fancy. So I'm going to put my Phillips screwdriver on one end, and they're 10 millimeter. And tighten them up. Gotta love that one. So, now that we have that done, clean off the build plate. Now we're still on the bottom of the plate. Now we want these heads to go in these holes. So it only lines up one way. So if you do it like this, you'll see that the holes are off. If you turn it the other way, it lines up. So that is very important, because you don't want to go putting holes somewhere where you don't need to, because you need this, just like this. So then you take, well, we're going to need 4 of these guys here. You need 4 of the 5/8" wood screws. And you're going to need 4 of the M5 flat washers. And surprise, surprise, you put a washer on each screw, and you're going to put it in each one of those holes there in the corners. I think that might be too small. We'll see. So first, there's really no wiggle room once the heads of those bolts are in there. So you just, that's too small. So you just kind of start that one, get it just about all the way in, so that we have just a little bit of movement if you need it to kind of line that one up. And then once you got the opposite corners in, you can tighten it, but don't smash it down. MDF, just medium density fiberboard. It's, I don't know, sawdust, glue, you know, stuff like that, holding this wood together. It's actually solid stuff, but you can't go really screwing into it too tight, because it'll rip out the hole and then you won't be able to mount it. So that's what it looks like when you're done there. So now I need to figure out exactly how we're supposed to finish putting it together. So let's move this multimeter here that was used in a previous video. As we drop my phone, let me set this aside. Alright, so which way's the front, which way's the back? So it's supposed to go like that. And then we're going to go like this. So we want these screw heads to go into these holes. So I guess they only line up one way as well, so alright, now there should be 3 holes in each plate. We got one here. I know you can't really see in the video here. Let's see if we can tilt this up without everything falling apart. Okay. I know the light isn't the best, it's a little grainy there, but you got one hole here, which you can still kind of see. You got another one here, and another one over here, same thing on the other side. We are going to use what's left of these wood screws. So that's, yep, 6 left. And don't forget your trusty washers. Everything gets a washer. Front frame piece should be towards the top. Alright. So, you do not want to tighten these down. You want to get all 6 in, or started actually. So you just get them started, and that way you can make sure everything lines up before you decide to tighten anything down. But again, if the holes are, the screw heads are in those holes, there's really no room for play. So it should all just, you know, line up just fine. I mean, you can feel the tip of the screw fall right into the pre-drilled hole, and it just kind of, it goes right in. Now the important thing is to make sure that the bed gets completely flush with this bracket. You don't want it to be, you know, up just a little bit on this end and completely flush over here, because then it makes an uneven work surface. So as it travels and the bit's cutting, it'll be an even cut instead of a, you know, off. Not that I fully explained that very well, but anyway. So now I've got all the screws started, so now I'm just tightening them, snugging them up. I'm not actually tightening as much as just snugging. Because again, you don't want to rip out the hole by trying to over tighten it. Alright, now it should move. Did I miss something? You've got 3, 3, 4. Yep, everything's here. Alright, once it's mounted, you should be able to just slide it back and forth smoothly. And you can see the wobble's gone. Nothing catches. The screw here fits right through that notch. So that is your build plate. So in the next video, we will do the next axis, which I believe would be what the X, I believe, is the next one we're going to do. When you get yours, you may not get the coated MDF. I did not get the coated MDF. I decided to save the money. These are black because I went to the store and bought some spray paint undercoating for cars, slightly rubberized, and you can paint on top of it, plus it's waterproof. So while I may not be able to use oil and everything on top of this thing, or I could in moderation to keep from damaging it, you definitely, if you get plain MDF, you definitely want to make sure you coat it, waterproof it in some way. If MDF gets wet, it'll swell and you'll be buying a new piece. So anyway, that's it for this one.